All right. Are we live? I think so. I think I did it. I think I set this up right. I'm live and I'm alone. I think. Let me see. Jesus. Make sure I'm doing this right. All right, there it goes. I did it right. I think. Put this up here. Okay. So, first time doing a surprise live for the collective. What is going on, guys? Hello, collectives. Hello, members of the collective. If you're here, go ahead and say hi to me. It's not set up over here. Hold on a second. Where is that? There it is. Okay, I did that right. Perfect. Hello, guys, whoever you are, wherever you are. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is my first time doing a surprise live. It's a collective reading. So if you want a collective message, this is the one for you. And here we go. We're going to start off with a oracle message. I was led to choose this deck, the Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. So let's start off with an oracle message for everybody. And let's see what's going on. Carolyn, hi. CJ, hola. Aloha. I can read. Aloha. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? Sunday, right? I got that right, at least. It's Sunday. It is not the end of June yet, so I just got it in there. Made a promise to my viewers that I would go live sometime in June, so I made it by 2 days? So thanks so much for joining me, guys. Thanks so much for watching on the replay. Let's go ahead and get started with the oracle message for everybody, okay? Oracle message for the collective, please, at this time. Oracle message for the collective at this time. That's funny. That card was coming out while I was doing the pre-shuffle for this deck. Grace, card number 20. So if you guys are interested in the numerology of it, oh my God, it's reverse on my screen. So now I have to this is so different than how I normally do my lives. And the reason I'm not on camera is because I look like hell. But there you go. Grace 20. Card says, Grace, blessing, come to me, come to set me free. All right. So everybody's kind of in it's a massive retrograde going on right now, right? Mercury, I think Jupiter and Saturn are still doing their thing. Venus finally went direct. But still, I feel like people are wanting to be set free, like the card says. It feels like energy has kind of been clogged up. Obviously, still with this pandemic going on, a lot of people are still in the house and under some type of restrictive orders. So I get the sense that people just want energy to move or situations to move, right? So let's read a little bit from the book, and then we're actually going to lay some tarot cards on this, okay? Grace is the ability to hear what must be borne without objection, anguish, or agony. It doesn't mean you are immunized, against the sadness and pain life can bring, but this spell will grant you the fortitude to learn what you can, cope with what you must, and be wise when it counts the most, especially when those around you may be foolish and causing you pain. If this spell chose you, practice loving kindness and forgiveness and exercises. This will help you be freer, more philosophical, and less hurt by circumstances. When we can see the big picture, we no longer take foolish actions of others so personally. Detach and have the grace to bless and step away from those who are acting out of pain, thus causing you and others pain. Okay, so that is a little more nuanced than what I was initially getting, but we'll take it, right? So we want things to move. We don't want to be hurt by people anymore. Situations where people are causing us pain or we're causing people pain, it's kind of donezo, right? We're over it, yeah? I feel that way at least. So let's go ahead and pick one of the tarot decks I've set aside for this one. Yeah, we're going to go with Santa Morte. Melissa Mitchell. Hey. And I don't know why I said it that way. Mitchell. To properly enunciate your name. Hello, Melissa. How are you? How's everybody? Hopefully you're all enjoying your Sunday or your weekend, wherever you are. Where I am, it's a little warm, so I don't like that. Even though I was born in the summer, I don't like heat. I'm a fall and spring person. Temperatures are not usually that hot in either of those seasons, but hopefully wherever you are, the weather is nice. If you are able to get out, enjoy the weather, enjoy the earth, take in the sights, take in the breeze, go for it, yeah? All right, let's get with some messages for the collective today. And I'm just doing it sort of as like the title says, it's a check-in. What's going on with the collective overall? Everybody out there, okay? Let's see what's shaking. Collective messages, please show me. Oh, silence. There it goes. Four swords side. I think we'll leave it like that for a moment. 4 swords in the side position. Further messages, thank you. 9 of swords, lots of thoughts, resting on thoughts, being inundated with thoughts, being tortured by thoughts. And the 7 of pentacles, also side, 2 sides. How do I feel about that? How do we feel about that? 2 side positions. For now, I think we leave it. All right? Okay, let's go. So 4 swords in the side position. All right, you can kind of see it there. Then the 9 of swords came out with this crazy contraption on the head, which I'm always a fan of in this deck. I love this artwork. And then the 7 of pentacles in the side. So what it feels like is needing to shift, needing things to leave our lives, or needing conversations, needing propulsion. Interesting, propulsion coming off of this. Okay. So if you look at this card, right, and you see that hammer, right, and the nail or the spike or whatever, right, you need force, you need propulsion to actually nail that thing shut, but it's in the side position. So things are not moving, and it's frustrating the hell out of folks. It's frustrating you, frustrating someone else in the situation, who knows. And the funny thing is, conversation would probably clear a lot of this up. But if we're talking about a situation with multiple people, communication is not going well. Okay, 4 swords in the side position, 9 of swords upright. There's like an impasse here where one side of an issue wants progress, or at least everybody does. But there's this continual feeding into something that's dead or isn't going anywhere. Continually feeding into something that isn't working. And then torturing yourself, or someone is tortured in their head over what the hell's going on. Okay. You can see there's like religious overtones to this image. So some people are in heavy prayer, heavy meditation about this, seeking counsel from spiritual leadership, watching tarot readings, not just this one, but other ones, okay? Getting tarot readings done, trying so hard to find their way out of a situation, but still feeding into the situation that you want to get out of. 7 of Pentacles in the side position, again, with these 2 side positions that have come out here. It's like a half commitment or half focus. This is like, if I'm honest, it's how can I say it? It's like boiling water, right? Where, you know, if you boil water, or if you fill water too high up into a pot, it can spill over. But that's not what's going on here. The water stays in the pot, and it continues to boil, and it continues to boil, and it doesn't evaporate somehow, and it doesn't spill over. Nobody comes along and turns the burner off and uses the water for anything. This is just like stirred up energy that doesn't get transmuted in some type of way. It's not practical. It's not useful. And I feel like it's in a dynamic of friendship, family, could be love relationship, not really work, but it could be for some because of the 7 of Pentacles. It could be work, but it feels domestic. It feels very intimate. Yeah. It feels like people that you've known a long time. Yeah. This coffin is very striking. Could be, I don't want to conflate that, but just because it hit me in this moment, I'll say that it could be secret keeping. It could be trying to keep something under wraps by nailing it shut, right? Nailing the coffin shut, keeping things tight-lipped, sort of, but that's for very specific cases. In general, though, this is inflexible energy. This is immovable energy, and that's unfortunate, but kind of fits with the retrograde that we're going through, yeah? Actually, let's get some clarification on this 4 swords in the side position. Clarify the 4 swords, please. What is the Four of Swords doing here? Why is it here? What is it talking about? Why is the Four of Swords here? Ay, Dios mío. It is warm today. I think it's like in the high 80s. Take it. Thank you. Why is the Four of Swords here? And, there we go. More swords. Five of Swords and the Two of Cups. Okay. So for those where this is like a romantic thing, this is like a dating situation, a marriage, a commitment, whatever it is, it's a rough time with this relationship. It's a rough time with this person. It doesn't have to be romantic, although with this card with the Two of Cups, it feels very romantic, right? It feels very how can I say it? It feels very loving. There's a connection that's very loving. However, I don't think that this connection is truly what it's supposed to be, or as peaceful and serene as this card is depicting. I really don't feel that that is the case. I feel like there's a lot of drama around this. And this Five of Swords, lots of opinions, lots of gossip. Okay. Why do I keep tilting it that way? My apologies. There you go. Like I hate to, feed so obviously into the artwork, but it really feels like there's a connection that's under attack. And the funny thing is, if you've been with Jay for a while, I don't usually say easily that this is a soulmate energy. I'm going to say it today. It is some type of soulmate energy, but the quality or the type, that is going to be the crux of the situation. So what do I mean by that? You could have karmic partners. Okay, look that up if you're unfamiliar. You could have a standard issue soulmate, which is neither good, and none of these relationships are good or bad. They just are, right? And then you could have something like a divine partnership or like a twin flame thing, or you could have a past life soulmate and all these kinds of things. There are different qualities to what a soulmate connection is. Whatever the type that you're dealing with, it's not what it's supposed to be at this time, or it's not all that it could be. Like the potentiality of this thing is being attacked. Like these swords are thrusting heavily towards the center of this connection. Again, it could be romantic. It doesn't have to be. It's a collective reading. So, don't take it personal, or don't take it to mean, it's a Romeo and Juliet type of thing. This could be, a connection you have with a friend. This could be a connection that you have with a family member, okay? And it's under fire. And it could, this criticism, because all of this is swords, right? Air sign energy. Four of Swords, Five of Swords, Nine of Swords. All of this criticism, this talking, this analyzing, this mental torture is what it feels like, could be coming from one person. It doesn't have to be gossip. It doesn't have to be from other people, but it can be in several cases. So the Four of Swords, I think, is trying to avoid this. Like the fact that I even said soulmate is like wanting someone to like nail the coffin even further shut. The fact that I'm saying that it's under fire, or the fact that I'm saying it's kind of contentious, or it's not what it could be. Like somebody doesn't want to hear that. Somebody doesn't want to realize the depth or the quality of what this connection is. Someone is pissed about it, or they lament it. It makes someone uncomfortable. That's the bottom line. It is making someone uncomfortable. Nine of Swords. Both people in the dynamic, one of them outside people, could be an outside person who's seeing two people having the time of their lives or making a connection, and it just drives someone up a wall, possibly. So there's dysfunction here. Mental dysfunction is going on here. Not no shade. Not trying to say anybody's crazy or anything like that, but there's like mental dysfunction over this situation, over this relationship. And going back to the Oracle card that we started with, it's like, what did the book say? It's pain that other people cause, and we kind of have to like detach from that. But here is someone in this connection, in this energy, who's living the pain every day. and they can't escape it. And they don't, this seven of pentacles in the side position. They're like trying to evaluate something, but they're not doing it correctly. So let's see about that. Because the Nine of Swords is pretty straight up because it's in the upright probably. So let's clarify a little bit on the Seven of Pentacles. That's 2, so we're not going to take that. Let's clarify the Seven of Pentacles, please. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles, please, for the collective. Thank you. These side positions, what the fuck is going on? 3 of Swords. Hey, Dios mío. So backstabbing. 3 of Swords. Please clarify the Seven of Pentacles once more, please. Please clarify the Seven of Pentacles, please. Stop. Thank you. Seven of Pentacles and the Chariot. Major arcana for Cancer. There could be a Cancer of significance, but it's still a collective reading. It's still general, so don't hold too tightly onto that. So 3 of Swords, but just so you can see it a little bit better, that's what it looks like. Okay. But in the side position. So. And Chariot, just so you can see it. It's kind of a confusing card in this deck. But anyway. It's like this Seven of Pentacles. It's half in, half out. Whatever the situation is, whatever the commitment is or the connection is, whatever steps need to be taken, practical steps since it's Pentacles that need to be taken to find a resolution here, it's halfway in, half out. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. What is that song? The Hokey Pokey? Isn't that the name of that song? You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out. Yeah. And you shake it all about. Yeah, the Hokey Pokey. Like someone is literally doing that. Or because of timing, because of resources, they can't commit as much as they want. Or they can't be as focused on a solution, finding a resolution, finding some way through. Because sevens are about evaluation and making further plans, right? Setting things up for future endeavors, for future goals, yeah? Especially with pentacles, you know, as compared to like cups or swords or something like that. There's an energy either in one person or in the entire situation that everybody is taking part in where it's not, you know, full throttle. It's not a full acceleration. It's not a full commitment towards something. This image on the card, for those of us that are old enough to remember, this guy is counting up his pentacles on an abacus. So it could be about money. Someone doesn't have enough money. Someone is trying to save enough money. Someone had the money, but, you know, given this glorious pandemic, that's a joke, by the way, but given current circumstances, their money might be in an upheaval, right? So you could have had money set aside. Someone could have had money set aside to make a move, like literally move because of the Chariot, because Chariot equals progression. So literally move from one place to another. And now that this pandemic happened, after 2 or 3 months of dipping into savings, you no longer can move. Does that make sense? Now, Chariot was part of what clarified it. The other part of what clarifies that 7 is this 3 of Swords. So we were, you know, I'm still going to leave it on the table. Surprisingly, it's surprising me that I'm going to leave this 2 of Cups as like a soulmate energy. And somewhere in the soulmate energy, we have had a backstabbing. We have had a betrayal. We have had someone violate against the connection or drop the connection. There you go. Drop it. Because they're telling me drop because of how, you know, if you go, given the position of these two skeletons, one of them had to plunge the sword into the back of the other, right? So, AKA drop, forget, neglect, abandon, right? That, again, in the side position is like, sort of, kind of. If it was a third-party situation in whatever context that applies to your life, it wasn't like a full-blown one. It was kind of like a did you or did they? And then the other person is like, I kind of did, or not the full, not the full meat and potatoes, or the full, act, whatever that means to you, whatever that means to the other person. There was like a half step towards a full betrayal or backstabbing a person. And in the opposite, it works the same way. If this was about someone abandoning because there's like a rush of motion in the illustration of the Five of Swords, right? But the Four of Swords is also with it. So action, quick movement, and Four of Swords, no movement. So it's like this could be an on and off again kind of situation. This could be, you're really good friends with someone and they come into your life and they stay there for a while and then they disappear, ghosting, right? And it's half, it's not fully there. To further clarify the Seven of Pentacles, we got the Chariot, which again indicates some type of movement, indicates some type of desire to get the show going, to transform or transmute a situation. Thank you. So what this card is depicting, a caravan, right? A traveling show. Yeah. Like a magician or some type of ringleader or ringmaster, I should say, not ringleader, ringmaster. And like these, whatever. It's like a traveling like circus or something. When that artwork to me speaks to not only transport, literally moving from one destination to another, it also speaks to constant reinvention, constant putting on a show. Like, I assume when you're a performer, I am not, but I assume when you're a performer and you go to and you perform a show in Texas, and then you go and you perform a show in Oklahoma, then you go and you perform a show in California, the audience is different, the weather is different, the environment is different. You might have the same act that's scheduled, but because you're a traveling act, maybe you have to, you're constantly having to reinvent the show or reschedule, what do you call it? Reconfigure. Thank you. Reconfigure the show. So it's like a constant, it's progressing, but then every day it changes. There it is. Thank you. So there's this idea of progression, moving, traveling, but every day it changes. So going back to what we were talking about this entire time, swords, 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 swords. Every day there's someone who says, I want this, I want progression, I want that, I want to move, I want to do this, have all these plans, but then they change their mind in the same day or the next day. It's like, oh, never mind. Right? Monday, I've got a plan for my life. I'm gonna stick to this plan. Tuesday, plan's out the window. Plan is being, totally restructured. So this is a person, or there's energy in this situation that is volatile. It moves a lot. Like I said, it's like boiling water, and it's like very stirred up and it's very energetic, but it never goes anywhere. You don't use it for anything. You don't throw any pasta in there. You don't, make any tea or coffee with it. It's boiling water on a stove and it does nothing. It's just all this excitement and all this energy stirred up for no reason, or it doesn't go anywhere. So that is the first message for the collective. I don't think there's anything else that I could pull from the cards that are here. So let's get some upcoming energies. Upcoming energies regarding this situation, please. When I say upcoming, you can use that in whatever way you go. I don't usually tell time when I do tarot. It's not my strength as of yet. So upcoming could be 10 years from now. Who knows? Hopefully not. So let's just see some upcoming energies here regarding this storyline, please. Upcoming energies regarding this storyline. Upcoming energies regarding this storyline, please. Page of Swords. Jeez, so many swords. Heavy air sign energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius could be very significant in this story. Upcoming energies regarding the storyline, please. So much swords, and that's studying. So continued evaluation, it seems like. And the Four of Wands. Okay. So I feel like somebody becomes fixated studying, study. Like that's all they keep giving me. So I feel someone is studying, evaluating, taking into account. Like this image is giving me, calls back to the issues with the Seven of Pentacles. So this is giving me a call back to like accounting or like, checking the books, checking, bank account statements and stuff like that. But evaluating and studying is what I get off of that. And again, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So they would definitely be very good at that. And then the Four of Wands came along with it. And in this particular deck, even though the Four of Wands traditionally talks about, a firm foundation at home or the stability of a home, the stability of whatever we're talking about, a solid foundation, right? This has always given me the vibe of like a flower stand or like a fruit stand or something like that. So it feels like someone could be evaluating their business. Someone could be evaluating if this is the right time to start a business, how much to dedicate to their business, what have you. But more traditionally, I would say this is someone studying the foundation of a relationship. Is it this one? Is it another one? I don't know. But there is this focal, I must figure this out. Like this is like another thing I'm getting is like literally being up late. Someone could be having sleepless nights. Someone could be, sitting up 2, 3 in the morning, researching things. Or like I said, suffering from insomnia, not being able to sleep well, like because their mind is so consumed. Like how many damn swords are out here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sword cards and 3 cards from other suits or a major. So a lot of mental energy is wrapped up in this storyline, and it makes someone uneasy because that's the other thing I get with the page. The page is kind of restless. The Page of Swords is restless, I should say. The Page of Swords, particularly of all the pages, is the most restless, is the one that has the most energy to burn. Like I said, with that damn boiling pot of water on the stove, all this energy is being stirred up in the situation or in this one person or whoever it is. And they don't actually do much with it other than to sit back and analyze it or sit back and live with it. There isn't a lot of movement here, even though the desire to move is here. The actual putting in steps, devising a plan, which is what the page should be able to do. But I think they're too, whoever it is or whoever is experiencing this, I think that the page would want to take action, but they're too overwhelmed in the back of their mind. Or the situation is too complicated. Because on the Chariot, you have a lot of figures. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different figures. So this could involve a family situation, a family business. And it makes it hard to make any type of plans because you've got so many, cooks in the kitchen, so to speak. Okay. So that's our first story for the collective read. If you're here in the chat, go ahead and say hi to me if you didn't already. Or, say what you're doing. How's your Sunday going? I am a mess. I was supposed to do laundry. I didn't. I was lazy, totally lazy. But I did other things, other practical things. So I'm not gonna kick myself too much over that. But and I'm still like in this like thing of doing laundry on the weekend, even though I don't have to go to work, and I can just like show up in my PJs. I can show up in my sweats, but I still like feel compelled to do laundry on the weekend. I guess so that I don't lose the habit. Maybe that's why I want to do that. All right, so let's get more messages here for the collective in a different deck. This is the Goddess Guidance deck. Excuse me. Oracle message for the collective, please. Cool, thank you. Oh my gosh. Am I hungry all of a sudden? Probably. When did I eat? Like at 12 o'clock. Yeah. No wonder. Cordelia. Go outside. Cordelia. Go outside. And I don't know why I'm saying it that way. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. How about it? I mean, even if, we have been outside, at least I've been outside since the since the lockdown has happened. But, obviously this is saying really go outside, like really, for real, go outside. But, it's kind of hard to do in the middle of a pandemic. All right, so we'll read a little bit from the book. All right. Being cooped up is not the natural way for inhabitants of this exciting planet. Believe me, there's plenty to see and experience, excuse me, when you exit your four walls and roof. A daily routine outside will not only revive your spirit and soul, it will give you hope and faith in this planet's very existence and future. You'll see all the goodness that's in store within nature, the flowers ready to unfurl, the leaves that are sprouting, the birds that hop about, and even the wind that affectionately caresses you. Don't let any other day go by without stepping outdoors into the most entertaining and exciting of environments. All right. So we all need to go outside, okay? Let's all make a promise to each other. Let's go outside, huh? All right. Yeah, we're going to use this one. All right, guys. So regarding this Oracle deck, what messages do we have for the collective? And you know what? It's kind of weird, right? Moon Goddess. My good friend Moon Goddess. What's up, girl? How you doing? How's everything? But yeah, going outside, it's kind of weird sometimes because last time I went outside, there were more people outside than there have been for months, number one. And then when I went into the store, it was just like more crowded, and it's like a normal amount of crowded, or like a little bit less than normal. But I was like so shocked because I haven't been around so many people in so long. So it's like here, this card saying go outside. I'm kind of like, but there are people out there. But that's just me. I'm like overly cautious in this pandemic because your girl don't want to get sick and die. Straight up, I'm not trying to die. I don't know about you. But anyway, let's get some messages for the collective regarding this Oracle card, please. Moon Goddess, how are you? How's your weekend? How's everything with you? Let's get some messages for this Oracle card, please. Oh, this deck is like kind of stiff. One, two. Face down, so definitely not wanting to go outside. I'm not saying that someone is agoraphobic because that's kind of extreme. But like I was just describing about myself, I feel like many of us are like kind of cautious to go outside. Yeah, I mean, aside from there being a pandemic, there's also like civil unrest outside of our doors, which some people could be concerned about. At least here in the States, around the world, it's also happened. It's also happened around the world. Here we go again. All right, so Chariot again. Oh, it's Cancer season. That could also be why the Chariot came up in the first reading. So here we have the Chariot again, major arcana for Cancer. Happy birthday to any Cancers watching this now or on the repeat. So Chariot card, major arcana for them. Deborah Shuck, hello. How are you? Two of Water, aka Two of Cups. Again, that's a repeat energy. And then the Eight of Water, aka Eight of Cups. Oh, little sad turtle. All right, so going outside, there's caution over it, right? Chariot, definitely want to do it. Great, excellent. I'm glad to hear it, Deborah. Definitely wanting to go outside. Definitely wanting to get back into some type of routine because, the archetype of Cancer, fourth house energy, definitely about daily routine, definitely about, maintaining the home or maintaining the base. So that could be connections with family, that could be connections with friends, that could be connections at work, what have you. And the determined energy of the Chariot is to do a good job and to be of purpose or to be of value, right? So that's good. Two of Cups, again, significant relationships. Now, unlike that previous Two of Cups, or Two of Water in this case, but Two of Cups in the other deck, I'm not going to say this is soulmate, even though it's very cute, it's very close, it's very, oh my God, they're so in love, these two little seahorses. It could be for some of you, it could be about rekindling a relationship with someone of significance in a romantic sense, but it doesn't have to be. I think this is just reconnection, period. Again, partnered with the energy of the Chariot, that Cancerian energy. It wants love, it wants affection, it wants to be communal, right? Fourth house energy, communal. In some of your households, this is about family tradition. So like coming together with relatives to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries. When I was growing up, we always had Sunday dinner at my grandmother's house. Now that she's passed away, we don't do it as often. And so it's kind of like wanting to get back to that semblance of normalcy, or that semblance of connectivity with other people. And it's super, super important to do that. But like I said, when I got to the energy of this card and just expressing what I feel like when I'm going out, and I'm not the most sentimental person. Well, maybe I am. But there was like this card, this Cordelia saying, go outside, is kind of like, are you sure about that? Because here you have the Eight of Water, which is called despair in this deck. And so it's like, going outside, what? It's scary outside. And there's this entangled energy, like we can see with this turtle. So I feel like somehow going back into a routine of connecting with other people, friends, family, coworkers, or inviting people into your home, or meeting up with people, because a lot of places are going green. Where I live, I think we're going to go green soon in terms of, phase reopening. So red, yellow, and green. We're in yellow now. So a lot of restaurants are open. You can't sit down. But the moment it's green, people are going to want to sit down. And it's kind of like, I feel in this energy, there's a caution to jump fully back out there, but the desire is strong. The Chariot is like, I want to connect. I want to be with my friends. I want to be with my family. I want to meet with the person that I love, or the people that I love, period, right? With the Two of Water right next to it. But then to go that route, Eight of Water both says emotionally, there's dissatisfaction with the situation at hand. As it is right now, it's not fun to be cooped up in the house all day. That's what the Oracle card told us, right? But there's also like this caution. And maybe it's due to the pandemic. Maybe it's due to civil unrest. Maybe it's due, got you. When you're inside, got you, because that's what I was saying about being in the grocery store. If you've been, many of us have been sort of on lockdown for months on end, and maybe you're only seeing a handful of people, to rush back out into society and see throngs of people, hundreds of people, tons of cars on the road, go out into the restaurant, even though you're spaced apart and the restaurant is taking their precautions and the bar is taking their precautions, it's still shocking to be so close to strangers again. That's what this feels like. Very interesting. I want to clarify the Eight of Water a little bit, because Tower and the Empress. Okay, then. So more specifically, for some, this is revolving a specific person. To be around a specific person is going to be, it's going to feel like a catastrophe. It's going to feel like earth-shattering, in a good or bad way, I don't know. But the Tower came out. Oh wait, these are both major arcanas? Oh my God, yeah, then for sure. So the Tower and the Empress, right? I'll try and hold these up as straight as I can. Here, I'll do it this way, underhanded, so it's a little bit easier. Bang, that's so much better. Okay, so the Tower, secondary major arcana for, don't blank, there we go, Aries. Also sometimes associated with Scorpio, and then the major arcana Empress sometimes, or excuse me, major arcana, oh my God, I can't even talk. Secondary major for Taurus and Libra. There you go. Any of those signs can apply, or none at all. It's still a collective general reading, okay? So specifically, for some of you, to go back out into society and reunite with a person, or see a person again, a specific person, possibly for the first time, maybe you were doing some quarantine dating, maybe you were doing some, online chatting with a person, sliding into somebody's DMs, and you've never met them before. And the first time you're going to meet them is in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of like a yellow status in your city or your town. It's kind of weird, right? It's like you might have all this, attraction to this person because of the Two of Water. You might really, 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 really want to see them and get to know them because of the Chariot, because the Chariot is very inspired energy. It's very like, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Yeah. But there's caution, heavy caution with that Eight of Water. And the Tower can go either way, good or bad. It could feel like an amazing moment, or it could feel like a dreadful moment. Okay. Regardless, it's a pivotal moment when we talk about the Tower card. So if and when you go back out into society to meet a specific person, or just integrate into your community and socialize with people, it's going to be a turning point, right? The element of the Empress feels like someone in the situation, you or the other person, take your pick on who is embodying this energy. But this person is kind of confident. This energy is kind of not fussed. Provided for is what they keep giving me. Provided for, provided for, provided for, which is true of the Empress in general. The Empress is provided for. The Empress is a provider. It's sustenance. It's stability. It's like really hard to get the Empress off their square. Male or female, sign doesn't matter. It's a general, okay? So this person, I think, is not worried, but someone else is. Or this person is less cautious and someone else is like, I don't know. And the Tower is not as, I'm not feeling this is like a destructive moment with this Tower. I don't think it's going to come. Well, okay. Could the meeting be the Tower? Is that it? Okay. Like I said, for those who may have been doing like some online dating, or, you've had someone this whole time. It wasn't like you met in the time of Corona. You knew each other, but you've been separated because of Corona. It's kind of like the Tower moment. When you guys reunite, it's like an ignition point. I hope that makes sense. It feels positive, even though someone in this energy, similar to the first reading, is viewing the situation in dreadful, through a dreadful lens. They're very worried. They're very scared. They're very cautious or trepidatious about the whole thing, even though they want it. So that's that. They want this thing, even though they're scared of it, or they're worried. They're ultimately cautious of the impact of what going back out into society. And again, it doesn't have to be with a specific person. It could literally be going back into a routine of, taking my morning runs. Someone may have, been so paranoid they stopped exercising, right? And now that they're back into their routines to a certain extent, again, coming from that Chariot energy, they're kind of worried. But you've got other people or another person in the situation who's kind of like, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. Like the Empress is like one cool cucumber. It's hard to like shake her up, male or female. So let's get an upcoming energy. What did I call it before? I didn't call it an outcome. What did I say? An upcoming energy? Or I can't remember what I said with the first reading, but I want that again. Tess Phillips. Oh, wow. Hi. Thank you. From New Zealand. What's going on? I was like gonna be really insensitive and attempt a New Zealand accent, but I know there's like subtle differences between that and an Australian one, and I probably wouldn't know the difference. So I'm not gonna be ignorant. I'm just gonna say hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, let's see some upcoming energies regarding this situation. I think that's what I called it. Oh, my tongue so bad wants to do like an Australian accent, which obviously is not the same as a New Zealand accent, but I'm so bad. So bad. All right, upcoming energies regarding this situation. I wonder what time it is in New Zealand. Upcoming energies regarding the situation. What am I going to have for lunch? Oh, I'm going to have my leftovers. That's what I'm going to have. There we go. Oh, wow. Come on. The Lovers. Upcoming energies regarding the situation. Some of y'all are dealing with soulmate energies all around. could be romantic. It doesn't have to be, you know, keep that in mind. Soulmates are not just romantic entanglements. Upcoming energies regarding the situation. And the Hierophant. Jesus. Wow. So that's very interesting. That came across like okay, that can make sense. That can make sense. A lot of people have been displaced from their partners. You know, you may live together, or you might have always had a long distance relationship, but because of travel restrictions and all that kind of stuff, some of you maybe have not seen your spouse or your long-term committed partner for a long time because of this pandemic. And so that's interesting. Anyway, and again, more majors here. So you've got the Lovers, Major Arcana for Gemini, and the Hierophant, Major Arcana for Taurus. That's twice for Taurus for those who it applies to. But with the Lovers card, I mean, pretty significant of what we're talking about. We are talking about, in most of your cases, a significant soul relationship. Again, what the type is, I don't know. Twin flame, I don't know. Karmic partner, maybe. You know, you have to discern that. You have to decide that for yourself. You have to research that for yourself and come to understand who this person is to you and vice versa, right? And in this particular deck, the artwork is pretty cool. Oh, look, and there's a bunch of initials in the trees. So if you see, oh, come on and focus. There you go. If you see your initials in the tree, especially if they're like, you know, the K and the S and the E and the G, that'd be interesting, huh? Anyway, so it's kind of cute. But with that Lovers card, I don't want to force it, but mostly because of the artwork, I will say past life relationship for some of you. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, you've known this person before in a previous lifetime, and you're meeting them again, possibly for the first time, or every time you come around this person, whether you've known them for 10 years or 2 weeks, it feels like you've known them, as the name says, for a lifetime or two. Yeah. Hierophant next door to it. They could be your committed partner. They could be your spouse. Hierophant speaks to fidelity, speaks to commitment. And if not, if you're not committed to them in any type of way, the potential is like through the roof with this combination. So, and again, it does not have to be romantic. This could be someone that you want to work with in partnership. This could be your best friend since second grade, and you guys will always know each other. You guys will be the best of buds until you're old and gray, right? And every time you guys get together, it can create a tower moment, because I've seen that before, where you can have two people who are in separate relationships and they're totally platonic, but when they come together, it's like they're like they get confused as the couple, right? And it's like, no, we're just friends, and they literally are just friends, right? But that doesn't preclude or exclude them from being soulmates, from being, you know, past life relationship partners. You know, so I that's why I challenge people to think outside the box of what a soulmate is or what a soulmate could be. This could be a connection between two cousins, or a brother and sister, or sister, brother, whatever. So go outside, meet up with this person, have, you know, again, stay cautious because pandemic. But ultimately, it feels like this will be good for the soul. This will be good for good nurturing. Empress, because what do we see there? A mother, right? So this is good nurturing for both of you, or at least one of you, quite significantly. All right. We'll do one more collective message from one more. Actually, you know what? We'll do something a little bit different, because I haven't played with these cards in a while. So we're going to clean this one up. We'll do one more message, and then we'll get on out of here for the day, because your girl needs to eat something. Hopefully you guys are eating, you know, taking care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated in this warm weather, yeah? So let's do something a little bit different. Hold on a second. Also, guys, if you want to like, share, subscribe, that'd be super cool. If you want a personal reading with me, that information will be dropped in the description box after the stream is uploaded and is available for replay. That information will go into the description box if you're interested, okay? So this is the Kipper deck. I think it's a German, it's like a German fortune-telling deck. It's not like the Lenormand, which is, I think Lenormand is Italian. I could be wrong. But anyway, let's get a few cards with the Kipper deck and see what storylines we can get around it. So, all right. Significant energies or players for the collective at this time. Significant players or energies affecting the collective at this time, please. Thank you. Expectation and poverty. Oh, Lord. We keep those together, I think. Expectation, poverty. They want one more. Okay. Expectation and poverty. Energies and players affecting the collective at this time. Please show me. Is that right? Say do it. Thank you. And despair. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh. Yikes. I think these stay together. Expectation and poverty. And despair goes over there. Oh. And I don't think I've ever used this on camera. I use this with clients, but I don't think I've ever used it on a live. So expectation. Poverty. Don't expect to be poor. That's lack mentality. Just got to tell you. Straight up. Don't do that. And despair. So it's a little bit of a rough go. But let's clarify this. Let's get some further insight into this, okay? Expectation, poverty. I feel like somebody's waiting, obviously, with expectation and the artwork of that deck, or card, I should say. But someone's waiting on something, or waiting on a person, or waiting on an opportunity, waiting on whatever. And it's like a doomsday. It's a gloomy expectation. It's not expecting, obviously the best because poverty came out with it. It's expecting the worst. And that's lack mentality. That's not a proper place to manifest from. It's not a proper place to be, period, in terms of your spiritual well-being and your spiritual hygiene, essentially. And I feel like someone's worth is tied up into this. Like someone feels worthless. Because these are like two very stark images, right? Let me show you again. You've got a very well-to-do looking woman sitting in a window, right? Looking rich. And then you've got this child, Victorian England or Victorian Europe, but most probably England, right? Who's like a little chimney sweep. So it's like two different social classes. And I feel like someone could be on the brink. It would make sense, again, with the pandemic and how it's had a social impact on people and an economic impact on people. Some people might be expecting to end up in, quote unquote, the poorhouse because they've lost their jobs, they've lost their income, they've lost their savings. As a landlord, I assume, and this is not an excuse, this is just, reality. If you own a building or if you have properties and 60% of your tenants haven't been able to pay their rent regularly or on time, how are you, as the owner of the property, going to be able to maintain things on your end? You see what I mean? Not an excuse. I'm not advocating for slumlords or anything like that. Not at all. But it feels very much the material trappings of someone's life is up in the air. And there's this expectation to be put out. There's this expectation to be fired or to stay laid off in some type of way. That sucks. That really sucks because, who wants to wish this on anybody? Nobody wants to see this happen to anybody. So let's expand on this. More information on expectation and poverty, please. More information on expectation and poverty, please. More information on expectation and poverty, please. Okay. Come on with the lovers. How many times? I'm not mad about it. It's just, and there's more. And the moon. Okay. So, first card that it came out was the Ten of Pentacles. Yep. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Okay. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius there. So, I feel like particularly a feminine energy. It doesn't have to be a female, but a feminine energy, it feels like. Has lost the plot. Interesting choice of words that they made me go with here. Lost the plot. Okay, lost the plot. Another way that we can use the word plot of land, because as you can see in the Ten of Pentacles, there's like a big mansion in the background there. And again, we're looking at someone in the expectation card who seems pretty well-to-do, probably lives in some type of mansion. Not to say you are or this person is, but there's some grand sense of security, right? And that's automatic in the Ten of Pentacles. So, but lost the plot. Could be lost the property, lost the deed, lost ownership of the business, lost the lease, whatever. I feel as though there's a feminine energy that is losing their home, losing their stability or their foundation. Okay. It could be literally having to move out, being kicked out, being evicted. It could be a little bit more removed from actually being put out of a house. Pardon me. It could be losing, like I said, the foundation in terms of a job, but thank you. Deeper than that, because what we see here on this Ten of Pentacles in this deck is an ode or an homage to the traditional Ten of Pentacles from the Rider-Waite deck, which, if you're unfamiliar, talks about generational success and lineage. So could be losing connection with relatives. It could be those relationships going dormant. As we see in the background of this card, there's like this winterscape. It's snowy, it's icy, it's cold. So we could be talking about lack of communication with family members and friends, people that you've known a long time, people that you've built up long-standing, significant relationships with, iced out. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse, if I'm honest, in some type of way is digging their own grave or digging themselves into, putting themselves in some type of situation. Like this is by whatever decisions this person is making, this is exactly what they should expect. Expectation. I don't mean to laugh because it's not a funny situation, especially if this is about literally being kicked out of a home, literally going through eviction or foreclosure or something like that. But what I feel is this Queen of Wands energy, again, I think it's a feminine person. They don't have to be feminine in their appearance, but they carry a feminine energy at this moment, meaning, and because it's in reverse, meaning, they're not receptive. They're not someone who's in the right state of mind or action, since it's wands, to negotiate. This person is being staunch. They're being stuck. They're being rigid. Thank you. They are not open to alternatives. They are possibly giving into the worst parts of themselves, again, because of this reverse position. So they could be indulgent, they could be impulsive, they could be abusive, or volatile, or disruptive, right? Queen of Wands, when they're in the reverse, essentially, I don't care, male or female, fire sign or not, whoever this person is, they're their own worst enemy. They dig themselves into a hole, right? Foot in the mouth type energy. If this is about communication, which again, feels like, this person could be icing out relatives, or relatives could be icing them out because they've had enough. Okay. And so, damn, that's very interesting. But again, it's coming from the artwork of this deck. So again, we've got this big mansion here, and then back here on the Kipper deck card, we have this woman who looks very elegant and very, high class in Victorian England. So I get this sense that in some cases we're talking about being cut off, like Mumsy cut me off. She took away my allowance. It's like that, like a child. Not a child like a little child, but a child of a person who generationally like is older, like a senior citizen who has an adult child in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever, is saying to that child, I'm cutting you off, Harold. I'm cutting you off, Regina. I'm cutting you off. Like that, I'm cutting you off shit. And then the Queen of Wands response is, well, I'm cutting you off too. It's very dramatic. That's going in so many ways. It's very dramatic. And it does have some implication to physical resources, money, home, access to finances, or access to certain, resources, what have you. It's wow. Yeah, I'm cutting you off. Like the retaliation of one person being cut off first, the retaliation is to, well, I cut you off too. Like Queen of Wands in reverse is very petty that way. Oh, you're going to do it to me? I'm going to do it to you. Like she refuses to be beat, so to speak. This Queen of Wands in reverse refuses to be at the mercy of anyone else. You don't have power over me. You don't have influence over my life. Even though, if we look again at what this card is indicating, if anyone kind of knows about this era and people of a certain status or people of a certain class, even up to today, if you're, a trust fund, I'm not saying that this is exclusively a trust fund person or a trust fund baby. I'm not saying that, but we know those types of people exist, where without mommy or daddy's money, or without mommy or daddy's help, you would be in poverty. So it's kind of, this person is cutting their own nose despite their face, expecting that they're going to end up with poverty in some type of way. Or more to what I was saying at the beginning, this person has a poverty mindset or a lack mentality. They don't expect much of themselves. They don't expect much of the situation, possibly with good reason, because they would have to jump through so many hoops. They would have to check so many boxes in order to prove their worth. And that also, isn't that kind of like, I'm not a trust fund baby myself, nowhere near it, but I feel like it's conditional. Thank you. Something is conditional over here, and somebody doesn't want to play into that game. That could be a definite part of what the Queen of Wands is about. I'm not going to play your games. I'm not going to prove myself in order to be rewarded. I'm not going to prove myself in order to receive your love and your affection or whatever. And that might involve having to walk away from manipulative people with conditional aspects placed on a relationship. I'm down with that. But at the same time, what does the Queen of Wands lose in the meantime is what that feels like. Now, that's a lot. Let's go. And the other things that came out to clarify expectation and poverty were the Lovers and the Moon card. Lovers, again, major arcana for Gemini, and the Moon, major arcana for Pisces. Could be dealing with these signs or none at all. So here we go again with like a significant connection. And it's either in the situation that I was just talking about, or it's outside. Either way, this some significant connection. It doesn't have to be romantic or hot and steamy like the artwork depicts. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Regardless, there's a lot of confusion about this, emotional confusion about this connection. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So this is a very specific storyline, but follow me through the artwork. So look at the lovers. We got this guy with brown hair, tousled up and having a good time with this blonde-haired woman. In the photograph, in the background, you see this dark-haired woman with a light dress. Sneaky Pete looking at these people through a picture frame, okay? And then in the moon card, we see a dark-haired woman, light-colored dress, walking out of a gate, walking out of a courtyard or something like that, out into the woods. So this, in some people's cases, is talking about leaving a significant relationship, possibly a marriage or some type of commitment, and walking into the unknown after witnessing or finding out about some type of cheating scenario, right? You know, that blonde woman could be the wife, and the brown-haired woman could be the scorned outside female, or vice versa. The brown-haired woman in the photograph, as well as the one walking out of the gates, could be the wife, and then the blonde-haired woman could be the side biscuit. Who knows? And don't, make it a male-female relationship. It could go all the ways, no matter your attraction or orientation, your genders. Take it as it resonates, yeah? So for a small part of the collective, this is the story. There was a commitment, because when we talk about lovers, we do talk about choosing to be in the relationship, choosing to not be in the relationship, head over heart decision, blah, 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 right? And there's something attached, as we were discussing before, to the stability of the situation beyond the commitment between two people. There's something about a house, a home, money, inheritance, maybe, whatever. This could be your parents' storyline. This could be the storyline of how you came to be. I'm not saying this has to be going on currently, but at some point in this storyline, we have a connection that was committed or intended, if not committed or married. It was intended in that way. And then there was a severing or excuse me, wrong one. There was some type of infidelity that caused someone to walk away and walk towards emotional confusion, because the moon is about very, I don't want to say complex, but very challenging, let's say. Challenging, disturbing, or disruptive emotional energies is what that feels like. Like somebody doesn't know what to do with themselves, so they walk away or they go into a dark place. And again, that could be the backstory of your parents' life or someone else's life in the situation. It does not have to be a current energy. And that specific storyline of a marriage or commitment that involved some type of betrayal, some type of infidelity. Yeah. Now, regardless of that storyline, what do I see? I feel a fear coming from the moon card. A fear of confronting all of this, right? Confronting whatever the lovers is, a commitment, a connection, a soul connection, what have you, the history of your parents and their infidelities, whatever. The bad behavior or the standing up for yourself and making a stand or being demonstrative, being combative, whatever. Facing all of this makes someone very uncomfortable. They go away from it. They escape it. Because moon energy, 12th house energy related to Pisces, it's about escapism, not wanting to own up to reality, not being or feeling brave or feeling ready, able to do this. And so 12th house energy can give into illusions, fantasy, sleeping a lot of sleeping for somebody to see their way through the situation. And that happens. When you have this lack mentality, or you're not in a proper headspace to manifest and co-create with the universe, or just find peace in your life, you'll do anything to get the hell away from whatever your day-to-day brings you. So I feel someone is just like, they're not willing or able to face any of this. So that's another part of it. So let's go ahead and clarify this, and then we're going to wrap up. Okay. So despair, not much better. Despair. Let's get some clarification on despair. What does despair have to do with this storyline? Please show me. Oh, Moon Goddess. My God, what did you say? I'm good. I restarted your video at the beginning, so I'm 20 minutes behind the live. Well, thank you, Moon Goddess. You'll see me catch up to whenever you. When did you type that? I was not even looking at the screen. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get some context on despair. Why is despair here? Please show me. A Queen of Pentacles. Why is despair here? One more card on despair, please. Top one, thank you. And the Empress again. What's going on, friends? What's going on? So, Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And the Empress, again, secondary major for Taurus or Libra. You could be dealing with any of those signs or none at all. It is a general. Take it all with a grain of salt, friends. Now, and again, the Queen of Pentacles doesn't have to be a female. Can be a male. There is no gender. So, this feels like someone else in the situation, not at the center of what we were just talking about. They're a part of the story in a very peripheral way, in a very secondary or tertiary way. This person in despair over here is not over here, not primary player, not star of the show. Okay? This person is solid in their finances, as opposed to the poverty, the iced over 10 of Pentacles, the spoiled, trust fund baby who's been cut off, and the emotionally turmoil or confusion that's going on over here. In terms of physical resource, there's someone else in this story, again, on a peripheral level, that is just sitting cool, sitting pretty. This person is creative in the sense of they can turn nothing into something. Hand them lemons, you will have the finest made artisan lemonade you ever wished for in your life, okay? This is my blueberry infused with a hint of lavender, iced over lemonade slushy. Like, this person will do the most with the littlest that they have, right? So super resourceful, is able to keep themselves afloat, and lives abundantly in whatever way that means to them. So this could be another relative, going back to this story of like generational money or generational finances, right? And one person in the family, one child could be cut off. This is the other child, living within the conditions that the parents have set forth. If you want to earn this money, if you want this money to be available to you, you're going to do X, Y, Z. This person is doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all the letters. They're doing everything that they're supposed to do to keep themselves keep their head above water, right? This person, if it's not about trust fund, and we're going back to this issue of the economic downturn that many people are facing, this is one person in a family or in a friendship circle or in the story period who's going through financial turmoil. This person, even though they have despair there, I think that there's this worry, right? But on the surface or in the day to day, they're actually doing pretty well. So the despair might be concern over here. I'm good. I'm worried about you. I'm okay. Me and the kids are okay. Me and my husband or my wife or whoever, everything's cool with us. How are you? Concerned friend, concerned colleague, maybe concerned side biscuit, okay, in some cases. So I think that this person could be watching what's going on over here and feel helpless in the situation. I've got nothing to offer. I can't step in and save you or offer any type of solution here. What I have for me, my money's fine, my home life is fine, my health and my wellness is fine. I'm chilling. But I see that you're going through some bullshit. And the Empress, yes, energy of the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, yes, but it's not forced. The Empress nor the Queen of Pentacles, when they're in their high vibe, they don't overstep their bounds. They do not rush into a situation like Superman or Batman or any other superhero. They don't do that. They have superhero powers or they're very impactful in similar ways, but they don't force themselves into a situation. So this person is on reserve, sitting on the sidelines, not throwing themselves in the mix. Maybe they want to. I feel the Empress can have, because she's the queen of all queens, right? She's all four queens put together. So she's the Queen of Pentacles, Swords, Cups, and Wands all put together. So she has this ability or this desire or this aspect of her which could be action oriented, but she came out showing her Queen of Pentacles side, which is very receptive, which is very open arm nurturing. But I'm not going to force you to come eat at my table. I'm not going to force you to have a heart-to-heart conversation with me. I can help, or I can be, because that's the thing about both these energies, taking in the weary, like taking in or shouldering someone else's burden. This is like a friend in need, or this is, what is it? A friend in need? What, I forget what that saying is, but this is like a very good friend or someone who's supportive of something over here. Could offer a shoulder, could offer advice, could offer, in some cases, money. Queen of Pentacles and the Empress, 10 of Pentacles, issue with 10 of Pentacles over here, that poverty card, all of that. If someone is in financial dire straits, here's someone who has the ability to step up or step forward and offer something. But again, not going to do it unless asked. And it could, just to throw like a situation out here to kind of illustrate this, and then we're going to wrap up. This could be about a person's struggle with addiction. So you could have someone who, for whatever reason, they're on this path and there's a struggle with addiction, and they could have struggle within a dynamic, within a family dynamic, with their friends, with their spouse, with their parents, with their children, whoever, or their parents, whatever, right? And then you can have this outside person who could be a family member, who could be a friend, who could be a love interest, who could be someone from the past, someone upcoming in the future that you haven't met, or, these two haven't connected yet. But the significance is, if you want help in terms of addiction, I can't force you, right? Isn't that kind of like the bedrock of most addiction treatments? You can't force someone to take treatment, no matter what it is, no matter the type, unless that person wants it. Like I said, someone might be cutting their nose despite their face. So someone might know, I have a problem with drugs. I have a problem with drinking. I have a problem with gambling. I have a problem with XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. And I expect to be poor. I expect to be without. I expect to be living on the streets knowing my behaviors. And this person could feel despair for that. I want to help you. But if you don't come to me, or if you don't express to me that you want this help, and you don't use me, or I shouldn't say use me, but you don't come and I think you get what I mean. So that's what this feels like. Two sides of a very not this is the central issue. This is where all the action is happening. Not much is going on over here, if I'm honest. Queen of Pentacles, Empress, just sitting pretty. Literally might be very beautiful, just sitting there, not doing much. No need to do much, provided for. This person, whoever they are, they could be an entrepreneur. They could have a job that is not in jeopardy in this economic crisis. This could be someone who has had steady income the entire time during this pandemic, and for the last 15 years of their life, whatever. But the despair that they feel is a concern for someone else. Well, yeah. Oh, what did we potential? No, not outcomes. What did we say? Upcoming energies. So let's get some upcoming energies, and then that'll be the reading. Good hour and a half should do, right, for the collective. Yeah. All right. So let's get into it. Upcoming energies regarding this situation, please. Excuse me. And guys, if you like this type of reading, if you appreciate the collective messages, go ahead and leave me a comment here in the chat, or leave a comment on the repeated video down below. Let me know how this resonated in your life. Again, this is my first time doing a surprise live for the collective. If you want to see more of this, just let me know by sending me a message, typing it down below in the description box. And you could look forward to possibly seeing more of these if you guys are into it. If you're not into it, why would I do it? All right, so let's get some upcoming energies regarding this situation, and then we're going to wrap up. Upcoming energies regarding this situation, please show me. Upcoming energies regarding this situation. Wow, 10 of Cups. Okay. Upcoming energies regarding the situation. And the Four of Swords. Okay. So for some, it's like addiction is so varied. There's all kinds of addictions. Addictions to substances, to people, to other types of behaviors. That's my connection is unstable. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I think we're still going. There's okay, there it goes. Thank you. Okay, so if this is about addiction, it doesn't have to be to drugs or alcohol or sex or gambling or all those traditional things that we think of. You can have an addiction to, like I said, a lack mentality. That's addictive, because not that it brings you pleasure to think negatively of yourself, or to have a negative outlook on life, or to expect the worst in a situation. That doesn't bring you pleasure, but it's an addictive behavior. It's conditional. Let's say it that way. So we're talking about either addictions or conditional behaviors and mindsets, right? So 10 of Cups, Four of Swords, upcoming energy. So, okay. So in this situation, there is a heavy play on a family dynamic, either of the past, the present, or the future. And, regardless of what we see here, a male and a female, and then two young females in the forefront, could be a family with two daughters. It doesn't have to be. But what's my point? There's this innate happiness, innate joy. It's not taken for granted. It's actually appreciated, is what this feels like. There's a perspective, there's a value here that hasn't been here before, or it has been hard to find. This could be a redefinition. This could be a reconsideration, a reconciliation, possibly. It's a hope, it's a wish, it's a dream, but it can be reality. But, like I said, when we're dealing with addictions and conditions, it makes it hard to see this come true, right? Because what came out was this Four of Swords next to it, and this artwork for the Four of Swords, I love it. Look at this. You've got someone sleeping, resting, trying to just get in, those good 8 hours, decompress from the day. But from underneath the bed come the demons, come the dark forces or the dark elements that aim to disrupt this 10 of Cups. So what does that mean? Like I said, we are talking about addictions or conditions. Someone has a mindset with the Four of Swords that this is all it's gonna be. This is how it is. This is to whoever on either side, feels mostly this side though, if I'm honest. This is a fantasy to them. And I'm here to tell you, as the reader of the cards, as the reader of the energy, that is self-deception, right? Not to say it doesn't give to the validity of what this person goes through, addictions and conditions. Those are very true things, which makes it harder to achieve this. But it's not impossible. But because this person's outlook, they view it as impossible. It's a fantasy. It's something I'm aiming for and I'm going to go for. But in the back of my mind, Four of Swords, I always know there's going to be trouble afoot. I always know there's going to be a disruption to this energy. I'm facing, there's something here that's always going to come to disrupt this 10 of Cups. And it partially has to do with me, my own mindset, my own outlook, or the issues that I have, or the issues that I face within my family, within my friendship circles, whatever. I don't think this future outlook belongs to this person over here, whoever it is, dear friend of the family, concerned coworker, past partner who just wishes someone well in their future endeavors. They're not really a part of this because this Four of Swords is hearkening back over here. So this side sees the potentiality of something and never fully commits to it being a possibility in reality. They might strive for it, they might wish for it in their heart of hearts, but when they lay down at night, no matter all the work that they've done to make a happy home, to make a prosperous future for themselves, for their family, for their children, whatever, at the end of the day, they still doubt themselves. They still doubt that this could be a part of their reality. Maybe it is a part of their reality. Did I say that before? I think I might have said something like that before, where someone might not be appreciative, or like when I was saying like trust baby or trust fund baby. Like you might literally have money in the bank, but feel that you're poor. A lot of people have that condition. A lot of people worry about that. They literally have thousands in the bank and they feel like they've got $5 in the bank. And if that's your mindset, you'll never be satisfied. You'll never have the intense joy and contentment that is available in the 10 of Cups. And because this is a 10, it is showing possibly a completion point. It is showing possibly that this person is waking up to how askew their perspective has been after possibly going through some nightmarish shit. Or more traditional to the Four of Swords, having time to reflect, having spent time alone and gone through some type of rumination over the situation. Yeah? Okay. That is that reading. I'm going to check and see if they want me to do another oracle card. Yeah, for funsies, let's go ahead and do one more oracle, and then we're going to quit this entire reading. I thank everybody who's been in the chat this entire time, or part of the time as I was reading this live. I appreciate everybody who's watching on the replay. Again, if you like this enough, or if I get enough feedback, I'll do it again. aiming for like once a month because your girl has a tight schedule. Okay. So it's hard for me to, let alone, record the 24 videos that I do in the month, plus personals, plus the birthday message, plus work a full-time job, plus, enjoy time off. But if you guys like it enough, I'll try to do this at least once a month going forward, or maybe like once every other month, something like that. But let's get a final message for the collective from Postcards from Spirit, and then we will wrap up. Again, if you guys are interested in anything with me, a personal reading with me, that information is down below. If you had any questions before you placed an order with me, just email me at the same address, and I will answer you as soon as I can. As it stands right now, I'm at like 24 to 72 hours turnaround. It's more like 48 hours, if I'm honest. It usually takes me 2 days to get around to stuff. So just want to let everybody know, head up, straight up. All right, let's get into it. Final message for the collective from the Postcards from Spirit, please. Oh, there were messages. It was good, and I love the style. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Carolyn, for your feedback. I do appreciate that. All right, final oracle card for the collective. There we go. That was not the nicest shuffle, but we'll take it. Dear you, you are in such good shape right now that we're all doing a happy dance. In this moment, you have the power to make a choice to get with spirit and co-create a miracle. You may wonder where this is all going, but if you want to manifest your desires for the highest good, you need to stay focused on the now. All power is in the present moment. Ask yourself, what are your dominant thoughts now? What beliefs are you motivated by? Do you have clarity right now? How is your conscious contact with the divine? Are you plugged in, or are you trying to do life all by your small self? Get rid of negative energy now. Resentments, be gone. Forgiveness, love, enter. Please. You can do your life beautifully and create your most powerful future right here, right now, in this moment. Aren't you thrilled to know you have a huge cheering section over here? Love and hugs always. Interesting. I kind of chopped that up a little bit, so I'll hold it up to the camera. So if you want to pause it on the replay and read that for yourself, that's totally why I do this. That kind of speaks to a little bit of what that person was doing. I feel that this person is, with the Empress and the Page of or the Queen of Pentacles, and in general, this entire reading, I have felt in all three messages that you've had one side that has been kind of cool, calm, and collected, kind of rolling with the punches, so to speak, and you've had a side that has been really distraught and unsure of what to do. And that last oracle card reminds us that, we're co-creators with this universe. We're co-creators with spirit. We're co-creators with God, whatever you believe in or don't believe in. We are not here doing this work alone. It's always in partnership with something that's greater than us, which is the source of us. Yeah. And if you perceive that in a traditional way, if you perceive that in an untraditional way, what have you, as long as you perceive it and work with it and stay appreciative of all moments and cognizant of all moments in your life, I think you'd be doing yourself a very good service. But as we can see in this reading and the previous two, it's not always the case. Not everybody can easily come to that understanding. That's why I do this work, to kind of encourage people to do it in their own way. I don't want to force my way on anybody. So take that all with a grain of salt, my friends, okay? All right, so that is our first surprise live here on EmpathicFire. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, my name is Jay, and I have been your reader, my friends. If you want to contact me for a reading, that information will be in the description box below. For those who are regulars around here, I will be beginning the July readings this week, so you can all look forward to those messages very soon, okay? Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate everybody coming out and viewing the video. Take care. Bye. And I ended this like so odd because, I still got to reach over here and hit end stream. So bye, guys. Have a good one.